Every day is another slip. More things you make.
The play did not exist 6 months ago. So what we have in front of us is a brand new work that is being created and shaped and constructed in real time.
Hills on Fire is a show that myself and Joe Stevens wrote, and it is an Appalachian ghost story about the opioid crisis. This project came out of wanting to talk about all the things that mattered most to us. And Joe and I both have a very personal experience with addiction, either in our families or very close friends, and seeing what a real human reaction to something like addiction looks like was very important to us.
In a way, I consider myself the cheerleader, like a facilitator, if you will. The person who comes into the space and just brings these people together and allows them to shine. And if I did my job in selecting what I think is the best performers, then the work creates itself.
When you have a script that is fully developed, fully realized, you pretty much can look through the script and you know exactly what the character wants from other people, and it gives a really good guideline of where you're going to go throughout the rehearsal process. For this production, when you pretty much have a character description and a couple of lines here and there, maybe a song, it's amazing because you get to bring yourself to the work, and that's what I love the most about it.
As a part of my process, I like to invite everybody in the room to explore some ideas they might have. What does it look like when the house collapses? What does it look like when a ghost appears? One rehearsal where we spent 3 hours on a transition, okay? 3 hours, just trying to figure out how we move from this space to when the earth opens up. And my idea was it was too choreographed. We tried something else. That was a little bit clunky. And then Marab was like, you know what, can I shoot my shot? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. What idea do you have? And so her idea actually was the one that we went with. And so that was happening along the entire process.
As far as what it's like to originate a role, I find that it's very rewarding and again challenging, because when you're cast in a show, you often look to like different references. It's really having nothing like that to pull from. It very much relies on your artistry and your sensibility and learning to trust yourself and knowing that what you bring to the table as an artist is enough. I'll like say something just like kidding, like ad-libbing a line or something, and Keaton will say, oh, that's the line, write that down.
So what we had to lean on was the vision of the writers and the creators. We were working on a scene that required actors in a trailer park. They are passing a meth pipe. They're in their own way trying to like drown the circumstance of the environment by getting high. The scene played super dark, super dangerous, super gritty. And Keaton and Joe was able to see it in real time, and they were able to say, that's not this energy that we want. We want to be able to love these people who happens to have this thing that they're trying to overcome.
Our main goal was to humanize these people, because when people think of addiction, they're like, oh, this is a bad person, oh, it's an addict. And I think the wonderful thing about this production is that we give these people a voice. It's the sugar before the medicine. People are entertained, and then our goal is that you go home and you're like, you know what, I really thought about this, and I never even thought that somebody that is addicted to drugs actually is a family person. They love the people around them. They're a provider.
I think that it's very wonderful that we as a society and a community have gotten to a place where we can stop having these conversations in private and start having them in public. It touches so many lives, and I think it's going to be very cathartic for the people who get to see it. Sometimes one of the best things about art is that it's a response to the question of, am I alone? And the answer to that question is no. And I think that this show answers that very beautifully.
We're dealing with a lot of heavy subject matter, and working with students, a huge part of the college experience is learning to have your own opinion. And this process was also about people being willing to share a lot of personal stuff about themselves. The rehearsal room was a really, really safe spot that Ryan made. We talked about family members who were dealing with addiction. We talked about people who had died. We talked about people who wanted and worked very hard to get out of a very bad situation and didn't. And so I think the coolest thing about this is that we as a The ensemble and the students and the school have got to deal with a very serious subject matter while also getting high-level professional experience as artists.